Hey guys, so it is just past 2 p.m. and I am done with all of the work that I need to do for today. Everything that I've ticked off, which will create daily sales, which will follow up on my clients, creating content for social media. Most days I am literally done by 2 o'clock so I can pick up my kid from school and then run him around with all of his other extracurricular things. But what I thought I would do in this video was talk about the things that just make sense, the things that I have fallen into habits with around making daily sales such a reality for me. And I know that, we are in an attention deficit era where there's so many things that we need to do. Our time is spread thin. So I'm hoping that this video is going to help you think about the habits that you form to create really, really great results in your business, and also show you how simple some of these aspects are. Maybe even let there be like a timely reminder of what we can do to create the things that we want in this world. So the very first thing I absolutely have to start with is time blocking. I'm a big fan of it ever since becoming a certified neuroscience coach, specifically to do with flow state. I've learned so much about how the brain operates, how we work best, and it definitely is in this recipe. So this is literally, like I've said here, I've done it all by 2 p.m. And my recipe for time freedom is this: 2 times 90-minute deep work blocks for sure, and 2 times 25-minute shallow work blocks. So basically in a day, I will have sections where I'm doing all of the things that need complete concentration. It's actually one of the triggers of flow state. So I will sit down and I will write my mastermind class. I will create a YouTube video. I will think about what I'm launching next and writing content, for example, writing emails, deep work. Other things that require more shallow work is things like answering DMs or, mucking around with a few little things in Canva. Nothing that requires any deep concentration aspects at all. I'm watching reruns of Desperate Housewives at the moment. Don't judge me.
I love everything about it.
But I'll have my Desperate Housewives on my iPad and off I go, and I'll be doing 25 minutes of shallow work. That is literally it. And look, I've actually even given a little look into my calendar. I'll zoom right in here. If it's a little blurry, it's because it's a Canva image. But this is literally today. So I'm recording this on the 19th of March. You're probably seeing this on around the 20th if you're watching this live. This is my week. So I have up the top there, Deb's on holidays. My assistant is on a well-deserved break. Then on Monday, we had an expansion meeting. I'm prepping for a course that I'm doing inside of my mastermind that only my mastermind members get access to. So that's that. Then I have tennis, which is awesome. Tuesday is filming all day, pretty much, as you can see there, and then taekwondo with my son. Then Wednesday, run club and 1 coaching call here. So very much like a nice free white space kind of day. Thursday, reminder to cancel ad event. Don't need that anymore. Later on, I'm going to be doing YouTube shorts. I had a coaching session, taekwondo again, and then I've got a mentoring call there. And then on Friday, we've got another filming day. So that's what honestly my days look like. A lot of these, whilst they're chunked out, it's so that people can't book in during those times. I've got intentional times set aside for big projects in my business. And then I will work towards what's a 90-minute session, what is a 25-minute session, and it just keeps me so on track. I cannot recommend this enough. The next thing I want to talk about is voice noting your ideas to yourself. I cannot recommend this enough, especially if you are someone who has a lot of ideas floating around, which as entrepreneurs and business owners, we naturally always have like these pings and these ideas. Don't lose those. And I find that because you've literally mostly always got your phone on you, just open up the voice notes app, or I think it's literally, what is the actual app called? In your mind, you can just see the actual image. It's called voice memos. So nice and easy. And then because like I am driving a lot, or I'm on the move, or I'm on walks along the beach or something, I will just hit record and start saying, oh my gosh, got this idea that's just come to mind for the next mastermind launch. I'm going to do this and this. And the reason for this is this. And if I want to ask ChatGPT something, or Claude, or whoever you're, using at the moment, I'd be like, ask AI this in particular. But I won't go directly into AI. I want to capture my thoughts first, because sometimes I find like if I go straight to AI and voice note in there, it it's great because it gives you extra prompts. And it's like, would you like this? Would you like this? It feels like it takes me away from the core focus of what I'm trying to do here, which is to record a simple voice note idea to myself. And, honestly, it just works so beautifully. So I definitely would love for you all to give that a really good go. All right. So next up, I have just come off the back of a photo shoot. Oh my gosh. It was so much fun. Me and my assistant Deb's been with me for 5 years. We book out a studio for a couple of hours. And honestly, I usually just try and find ones that are very neutral, but also really cost effective. So the studio I found was like $60 an hour, minimum 2 hours. So it was $120 for the 2 hours. And we shot so many photos. Like literally, I am so happy with the way that they came out. So the studio was called Blank Space. And I just have to show you, let's see if I can scroll through all of these. These are all the photos that we took in 2 hours. I think there's over 600 photos in here. I did 5 different outfits. They're so fantastic for things like Instagram stories or carousels like the one that I just showed you, and just having these images that are ready to go. Look, a lot of them are just snapped, really raw on a little digital SLR camera that we have. I've actually got 2 now. The lighting at these studios are always provided for. Like I'll show you, we had this sort of big light here, as you can see, and heaps of natural lighting. So the studio was just absolutely gorgeous. And then on top of that as well, we recorded some videos. So these videos are really great, like 8 to 15 to 30 seconds long, really, really good for things like running ads and things like that as well. So I'll just show you one. Okay, I don't want YouTube to to get me into trouble. But anyway, you get a sense of what that looks like with the music pumping. It was so much fun, you guys. And once I have these set for the year, I use the same images over and over. I don't really try and do anything too fancy with photos, and I'm just happy with what we've captured as well. All right, my next habit that just makes so much sense is I make a low ticket resource every 4 to 6 weeks. In my shop, you can see that there are the most relevant ones that are available, and I keep these really fresh. And I also have definitely now maybe 20, 30 low ticket resources that are sitting either on platform, which means that it's ready for sale, it's available at all times, or some that I have either taken off for some time. It's seasonal, or kind of just like if you're working at a clothing store, some of it is suitable for this season in business and not so suitable for others. And others I will retire after a quarter, like my 2026 playbook and business plan. But all that being said, it keeps the pipeline really fresh and really exciting, which, by the way, if you want to have a look at the shop and you want to see if there's anything there that is perfect for where you are at right now, I'll leave it in the show notes so you can go and have a peruse. Look at the PDF section, look at the courses section, look at the masterminds, and see how it's all set out. It's super easy. One thing I'm very proud of, it's very easy to buy from me, which makes it awesome for obviously cash flow and all those other aspects and juicy goodness as well. Also, another thing that makes so much sense is just creating a spotlight week for high ticket. So whilst I mostly lead with low ticket and I mostly talk about how, accessible everything is, and you can pick my brain for $27 or buy a $47 course, I definitely still have high ticket inside of my business. It is the profit maker. It's also a place where I can deeply connect with a lot of my clients inside a private mentorship or my mastermind. Once every 6 to 8 weeks, I will have a spotlight week for high ticket. So I'll talk about my one-to-one mentoring. I will put out some offers out there, some great packages at the time, or I will spotlight my mastermind. And that's always really exciting because I can bring people to life who are on the inside of the mastermind. And it's really important, even if you're someone who is leading with a low ticket offer and who is seeing that big picture around how daily sales and the entire ecosystem creates a beautiful passive era for you, people still need to know that you have deeper spaces and communities where they can join. So I highly recommend having that on Showcase. This will include things like events. I've just sold out my 12-seat mastermind here on the Gold Coast. So I definitely did a week of spotlighting that event. I have VIP days, which is one-on-one in person, very bougie, so much fun, and masterminds and one-to-one. So whatever you have, make sure you set that aside. If you are someone who is a high ticket coach and only leads with high ticket, and you're like, Rubes, I don't do a spotlight week because that's all I spotlight, I would definitely ask you to think about ways that you can create a cadence around the way that you spotlight your coaching offers. Because if you are only saying high ticket, high ticket, high ticket, everybody else who either isn't in the position to invest right now, or they're just, honestly, they've just met you and they don't really want to spend $5,000 on someone they don't know, then I would definitely create this cadence of like spotlight week for high ticket, take them into a course or something, and then do a spotlight week on a course. Then the next thing you might do is spotlight PDF or spotlight a bundle sale that you're doing, and then go back into high ticket. So really create that symphony, and that breathing room makes a really big difference when you are selling online, so you're not tiring out your audience. Okay, organizing my photos into albums for convenient sharing. I have talked about this in previous videos before, but I cannot tell you how much of a lifesaver this is when I'm feeling super lazy and I know that I still want to be present online, and specifically Instagram stories, because it really is such a sales channel for me. So I don't want the opportunity to miss thousands and thousands of views because I can't be bothered or I'm too lazy. So these folders have really, really been fantastic. I have one folder with all of my lifestyle shots, and it doesn't mean it's glamorized at all. It's just me walking by the beach, having a cup of coffee, making my lunch, cuddling my kids and all of that. So it's just lifestyle goodness. And then the other folder is all social proof and testimonials. So it's sales that have come in, people that have DM'd me saying that my courses have actually changed the way that they've done business for the better. It could be a mastermind testimonial, one-on-one testimonial. So that way it is all in one spot. And when I go to Instagram stories and I upload the photo with a social proof overlay and then make the call to action, it's so simple. And honestly, you guys, like, I've been making hundreds of dollars every single day from Instagram stories just by doing that. If you want to specifically learn my Instagram stories secrets and how I sell as a coach and mentor and how I do that every day with such ease, I have a course that you will love called How to Sell on Instagram Stories. I'll chuck that in the show notes below as well, so you can have a really nice deep walkthrough of what I do exactly to have this be a reality. Recording clips of every client session. Now, am I wearing the same top? No, that's the gray one. I don't know about you, but I'm the type of person that if I like a style, I will buy one in every color. So I'm like, oh wait, that's embarrassing. Anyhow, so this is a conversation that I was having with my client, I think Sasha, or maybe it was with Sheila. Either way, this is how it goes. It's really simple. I will have the phone set up. Usually I have like a sticky thing on the back here, and I'll just stick it onto, I've got some screens here, so I'll stick it onto the screen. And it will just record me as I am coaching. It will just be short clips. So I'll just reach over and hit record. And then when I'm done, stop record. And it will just give me like a little 4-minute section. After the call, I will clip out anything that my client has said, that obviously take out anything that's confidential. And what you're left with is just the actual, you probably won't hear anything on here. No, you won't. But you are just left with the actual advice that I'm giving. And there's something about that live energy. People can hear you coaching and mentoring live, and it feels like you're talking to them. It is so good and so juicy. These types of captures that I do, and this is what I mean by it just makes so much sense. Like, of course, this is what sales coaching and mentoring offers, because they can see you live in action. It always sells. So I might put this up on Instagram stories and I'll say, you know, a little blurb of coaching my client on how to set up their ManyChat funnel, exactly what works, why this wording is going to make them more sales, and how to do this in less than 5 minutes and under. This client of mine is, actually now I remember who this is. This is Vivian. So it was like, this client of mine is a digital educator teaching toddlers how to learn Mandarin. And so her target audience are parents who want, you know, an easy way for toddlers to recite Mandarin. Just giving some context there. And I said, you know, one-to-one doors are open. If you're interested, please message me one-to-one and I can talk you through the options and what that looks like. DMs flooding in, really interested, wanting to know if I would help them with certain aspects of their business. And it was just, you know, the conversation just flows from there. So definitely would suggest you try and do something like this. It is just, I don't know, it's a game changer. And it's the easiest piece of content that you will make. It is so simple to get something like this done. So yeah, look, so you can kind of see the transcript there at the bottom. There you go. All right. I don't know why this one is such a shocker for some people, but every day an offer, an invitation, a link out is made every day. So it might be something in stories. I might say, yeah, comment 1-to-1, and then I make a 1-to-1 sale. Or inside of, stories or reels, again, I might say DM mastermind, not on the same day, different days. And then a mastermind sale will come in. On emails, I might say I'm opening up a VIP intensive, and then 6 people inquire about the VIP intensive. You get the feel, right? Like workshop, events. It's not hard to do this. I think you're probably just really in your head that you need to have something done and perfect in order to start selling. I really feel like you just need to get out of your own way, basically, and put the offers out there. If not, how are they ever going to know that you've got something like this going? And if you post for 3 days and you get no bites and no one is messaging you and you're not seeing these Stripe notifications, get up and do it again. What's the other option? Go back to a day job? No thanks. So it's just a matter of not so much just consistency for the sake of it, but testing things out, trying things out, testing something long enough as well. Like I had a client once who said to me, oh, I did what you said and it didn't work. And then when I sat down with her and I said, okay, show me what you've done. Let's try and plug the holes here and work out like why it didn't click, because I'm sure it really would have done so well. And she showed me 2 posts, 1 email, and maybe 3 Instagram stories over the course of 10 business days. And she's like, no one bought off any of these. And I'm like, but you've only posted in 10 business days, which is really only 2 weeks. That's not long enough to test a single thing. Like when you're in test mode, give it a good chunk of time. 3 months is minimum. And like I used to always go off the marker of 100 days. If I'm posting 100 days and it doesn't work, I've got some good data to back that. If I'm posting for 10 days, that's a 10th of the way in, and there's just simply not enough data. If you've tried to get data off Instagram, Facebook ads, and you're trying to understand like how your audience is interacting, if your audience is too small or if your volume is too little, it will literally say not enough data. So that's literally what's going on as you are launching something. So yeah, I just really wanted to eyeball you on that one. It's not meant to be a shocker. It's meant to be something that we do. And I know that some of you are like, oh, but I started out as a coach and I didn't think I had to be a full-time marketer. I didn't think I had to be a full-time social media person. You do. In this day and age, if you're wanting to grow a personal brand and if you don't have word of mouth referrals and people who are just, throwing themselves at you, it is part of the job description to market yourself. So you either choose to do it or you realize the job's not for you and you go back and find something else that is very much in your wheelhouse. So that's what I have to say about the things that just make so much sense, that brings on so much flow state, that creates so much demand. And I have the aligned offers to back that as well. I hope that this has given you some insight and also some inspiration as well. Please let me know in the comments which one of these you are going to hold yourself accountable to, or that you would like me to hold you accountable to. And if you haven't already, I'd love for you to like this video, give it a thumbs up, makes a huge difference, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm really, really trying to grow YouTube this year. It's a little bit slow, but that's okay. We're going to keep moving forward. And again, testing it out for 100 days. So I am a product of my own advice. All right. I'd love for you to head to this video next. It's really going to help you take your daily sales energy and era so much further. I'll see you over here.